Hey, listen up. We got another episode of Wise Kracks, featuring the crack man himself, Bill Krackomberger, and our co-host, John Orlando, straight from Las Vegas. Wise Kracks is your ticket inside the world of sports betting, with tips, picks, special guests, and more. Only on WSN.com.
Welcome back to another episode of Wise Kracks. I'm going to call this one the Wizard of Oz edition. Would you agree with me on that one, Mr. Bill Krackomberger, joining me as always? It's the Wizard of Oz episode.
Yeah, this is the Wizard of Oz episode. Absolutely.
How many people?
I'm real excited for this because, like we grew up on baseball, so we're excited to have this on. This is to have this show happen. We've been trying to get it done, right?
Yeah.
Trying to get it done for a while.
Let me ask you this. What percentage of viewers and listeners right now don't know what we're talking about when we say Wizard of Oz? If you had to guess.
Yeah.
Everyone knows, probably, right? Everyone knows.
Well, everyone knows, but they don't know if, my guys are thinking Wizard of Odds because that's a big site. And then you have the Wizard of Oz, which is, of course, the Dorothy.
Yeah.
And then you have the baseball, which we're talking.
The real wizard.
The real wizard. Yeah.
We speak of the great Ozzie Smith will be joining us today. How exciting is that?
Yeah. Ooh, it's exciting. I am excited for this one. This is one I've been waiting for, like I said. So I don't mean to sound like a little kid.
I know. I'm giddy like it. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
Well, before we get to our legendary guest, Crack, I'm not a basketball fan, but I can't help but notice the Phoenix Suns seem to be tearing it up in the playoffs ever since they polished off those Lakers that I can't stand.
Yeah, no, they and it's all because you didn't bet it.
100%.
They don't realize how lucky they are that you did not bet that.
I'm the 10th. No, in baseball it's the 10th man. In basketball, what is it? I'm the 6th man. I'm the 6th man for the Phoenix Suns. I am the heart and soul of that team right now, winning. It's all because of me. Should I jinx it? Yeah. Should I make a bet now?
Should you make a bet now? No, I don't think they'll want to. I don't think Phoenix Nation will want you to.
Right. Right. And
we've had some exciting NBA games, though. Some Game 7s and stuff. It has been pretty exciting. I was up in Scranton, Pennsylvania, at my buddy's house, watching a couple Game 7s there. I actually did watch the ends, which I don't really watch games, but we turned them on like the last 5 minutes and just to see like the Sixers lose. Everyone was rooting for the Sixers up there. Yeah. It's even though it's outside of Philly, his sons live in Philly, so he was rooting for the Sixers. And then we had another game 7 there, which really, I think it went to, I did, right? I watched that game, went to overtime. The Nets went to overtime on a great shot, which could have been a 3 by this much. The Nets could have won that game with 0.3 of a second. And unfortunately, Durant was over the line by about that much.
Wow.
So that made it a 2, went to overtime. And I think the final score in overtime was 6-2. I think it was. It was like they had no scoring at all. It was almost an embarrassment in overtime. I think I'm going to look real quick, but it was this was Game 7 overtime. A giant game, and let me see. Yep. It was 6-2 was the overtime score. It was just kind of unbelievable to watch that game. But anyway, so everyone thought the Nets were so great, but Harden, and they are a great team, but some injuries throughout late in the play, even in the playoffs and stuff. They just didn't get there this year. So I don't know how happy the networks are not to have like marquee teams like the Lakers and but it is what it is.
It is what it is. Yeah. Yeah. And then in baseball, I don't know if you caught the game last night with Max Scherzer. With baseball now, we talked about it. Well, I guess on the interview with Ozzie a little bit, as we'll have that coming up later. But this putting substances on the ball is a big topic right now. Something that's really gone on for years. I mean, in baseball, but for some reason now it's a big deal.
Fan in the '80s and stuff, weren't they going after guys like
Necro?
Was it the brothers? The brothers, right?
The Necros, yep.
Necro brothers.
Gaylord Perry.
Yep. Yeah, we said it at the same time. Got the same minds. there was always a little substance in them going to their hat or their pants or whatever it may be, and it's overblown. It's overblown. Come on,
it's crazy. They checked Max.
Going after the great Mad Max Scherzer. Come on.
They checked him 3 times last night. 3 separate times they checked him. I mean, it's
insane.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Did you see it? Did you see the replay? I didn't watch the game, but I seen the replay of when, he like threw the glove down. And
he was pissed.
Ready to pull his pants down.
Yeah, he was like, "Look, run your hands through my hair." Like he was not having it. He was not.
And people are mad at Girardi today. So people are mad. So
yeah. And the Golden Knights are down now 3-2. Probably an unexpected loss.
It is unexpected. There, and you think about one of my buddies last night was texting me and saying, "Wow, do you believe the value on Montreal if you're in Vegas?" Because everyone's betting in Vegas. They're betting the Golden Knights. Not only people going to the game, just the town itself. Plus, Vegas Golden Knights are normally the better of the team, so it's a favorite. But being in Las Vegas, all those little bets cumulatively add up to a giant exposure for the sportsbooks. So the sportsbooks have done very well. Last night, you could have took like 215 on the Golden Knights, where offshore, you could have lit the sharper line. Offshore, you could have laid less than 250. You can actually scalp the game. So and that's the way it's been literally throughout the series. You could get a really good bet on the dog here against in Las Vegas going against the Golden Knights. That's just the way it is normally throughout the season too. You could pick up an extra 5% or 10%. A line value just betting against the Golden Knights. I remember I went to the Golden Knights in the Stanley Cup. It was some of my first hockey games I ever went to. They were playing Washington, and I was rooting for the Golden Knights because everyone else was. It just felt like such a great thing to do, but yet I was betting on Washington each game. So kind of interesting, because you're getting such good value. Yeah, and that's what it's about. It's about value. It's about winning money. It's not about rooting. I hate to say this. I know it's not about rooting for the home team.
Right.
It's just not. It's the old Bronx Tale, the Mickey Mantle thing. They're not paying your rent. If you can't pay your rent, go to the Golden Knights. Go to Fleury, see if he wants to pay it for you.
Right.
See if he'll do you that favor. He doesn't care about you. Why do you care about him? Care about your money. Care about your family. But I know I'm going overboard there. Sorry.
So with that said, does that mean you've got some action on Montreal?
No, I didn't. I wasn't in. If I was in Vegas, I probably would have, just based on the positive line value there. Yeah. I probably would have. But
speaking of Vegas, a lot going on in this town right now. The town is packed and has been packed for, I want to say, somewhere 3 or 4 weeks now. We've been pretty busy. There's supposedly a soft opening, I guess, of Resorts World. But it doesn't look like they're ready to open tomorrow night at 11 p.m. But have you heard anything?
Someone FaceTimed me from there last night out in front of the Encore, and they walked, and they were literally showing me their camera as they were walking. And it just, there was bulldozers and sand piles and dirt piles. And they're opening in 36 hours. So I was like, wow, they're going to have a tough time. It's a soft opening, granted, but it's still an opening. So there's people that are invited there. I believe this is how it's working. Don't hold me to it, but I think it's people that are invited first for so many hours, and then the grand opening being Friday for the public. And then the official grand opening, I guess, is on the July 4th weekend. But this is the soft opening weekend. And there's a lot of people in Vegas in general every weekend. But you know what, though, John? It's really not the right people. The people that are in Vegas, they're spending money on the non-gaming revenue, which, it's 50% non-gaming revenue any time of the year. But the other 50% is the gamblers. Yeah. They don't have those gamblers there like they normally would have, even this time of the year. They just don't have those gamblers, the hardcore gamblers there. These are people that are coming in, spending money on their rooms, their shows, their drinks, their meals. And why it's good for the town, revenue generating, it's really the casinos would rather have gamblers there. So
why aren't they here? Is it just because of COVID? Or
it is because things aren't open. Someone just told me, someone just came back from Vegas 2 days ago. He said to me, Well, none of the at Caesars, the spa's not open.
Right.
Like there's no jacuzzi, there's no whirlpool. Even though the outdoor pools are open, but that's just one example of something. And things aren't open. Perfect example in Atlantic City, even like the restaurants, a really good Italian restaurant, Tropicana, which people go to. They're only open Friday, Saturday. And this is like one of my restaurants. I can't even go on a Thursday night if I want to go. So I think we're not back to 100% yet of things open, and people that are out in Vegas, and even the weekend crowd in Atlantic City, even though it's more of a hardcore crowd, people, it's almost like I always said the word, I use it a lot, the rite of passage growing up on the East Coast. People gamble more, tend to gamble, be a hardcore, more gambler here. In Vegas, it's more of a touristy type of gambler, but mixed in are those gamblers that fly in private jets. The big guys aren't going to Vegas right now yet. So I'm sure it will happen. Now, granted, it's been 115 degrees, 117, 110, 112 degrees. It's been really a couple degrees above normal. It's just hot. Summers really aren't the busy season in Las Vegas for the gamblers. It's more for the pool crowd and the party crowd. And so it'll get back to normal eventually. We'll see. So I don't know if the crowd is the proper crowd in Vegas. Don't forget, you still got that same crowd that still has money. They have excess money. They haven't been paying rents for a year. Right. They're getting unemployment checks, which for not working. So they're like, come on, let's go to Vegas. I'm getting $800, $900 a week anyway. I'm not even working. So you're getting that crowd out there. Tend to be a little bit more of the rowdier crowd, the crowd that doesn't want to go back to work, that wants to rebel a little bit. So that's the crowd that we're still getting in Vegas a little bit.
Yeah. I'll tell you where there's no crowd, sadly, is at Virgin Hotel.
Yes. Good point.
I want that place to win because I loved the Hard Rock, and I'm a Richard Branson fan. But I don't know, man. It's just something just seems. I think there might be too many cooks in that kitchen.
I don't know what's going on there because there's I don't think they know what it wants to be. John, you said it earlier off air. You said that you're seeing ads and you're seeing articles when they talk about Mohegan. So Mohegan's running the gambling aspect of it, but Virgin is the branding part, and they're the owner, of course, Richard Branson. He has a partner too, but plus it's not on the Strip, so it's down Harmon on the corner of Harmon and Paradise. Yeah. Maybe not the best area, by the way, either. Outside that casino there, they have a housing project next to that. You might as well call it the projects. It's not good. Yeah. So not the best area of town, and it's just not doing that well. They can't get gamblers in there. They really depend on gamblers, and
Tiny
they have Nobu there, which I love. The sports books, I don't think it's even open yet. They have the sports book there, but they couldn't get the licensing yet.
Oh, really?
So,
but yes, have you seen the area that? Have you seen? Yeah,
I've been to little Betfred book there. Yeah,
small.
Yep, it's small. It's just Betfred's a Euro company that's made their way in the States here and actually got into a brick and mortar location in Vegas. Congratulations to them, but they're not open yet. And I know some executives over there, and it seems like they're having a little trouble getting in the big. It seems like they're having a little trouble getting in the big players or even gamblers in general. When I went in there, I couldn't believe it. There was no gamblers in there. I went in there for Cinco de Mayo. There's a Mexican restaurant there. It used to be Pink Taco. It may be renamed. It used to be Pink Taco. Yeah, it is
renamed, but I can't think of the name of it.
Yeah, but I went in there, and that was absolutely the restaurant was packed for the Cinco de Mayo, but I couldn't believe there was just nobody. There was one dice table open. They're in trouble. They're in trouble over there.
Yeah. Crazy to think, right? It's crazy.
Yeah. They just opened a month ago, and they're in trouble 2 months ago.
Yeah. I'll tell you who's not in trouble is Circa. Circa on fire still consistently every month since they opened. That place is, I think, my favorite spot to be right now.
Circa's a hot spot. Good steakhouse there, and Derek Stevens, sharp as can be. Every day wearing one of those cool blazers and stuff, and he's a class act. And his team put together a really nice place over there, and I always wish them well. And plus one of my favorite sports books to bet at because they take bets. So.
And speaking of betting and sharp, I I'd like to remind everybody to download the Crack Wins app. How's that for a segue? Crack, you like that?
Yeah, that was good.
Crack Wins excellent. Is on Apple. It's on Google. You can go to crackwins.com. You mentioned before we started, which I love about you, is you're always an open book. You've had a little bit of a losing.
Well, not on. Listen, the Crack Wins guys have it. Me personally, no. The Crack Wins has run unbelievable for the last year.
Wait, did you go rogue against your own picks?
No. I'm putting in my my video poker playing. I'm playing Advantage promos. I was just did an East Coast tour, Foxwoods, Mohegan Sun, Encore Boston, Oceans in Atlantic City, Hard Rock Atlantic City. All these places are giving me extra money to play with.
Right.
I probably lost about 40 grand there between them all. And this is with getting free money, but you just run a little bit bad.
Right.
Since March 1st, it seems like I'm down well into the six figures. It just seems like I'm counting Bitcoin, I'm counting stocks. Right. I mean, just everything it seems that I've made decisions on. It just seems like it's been. But I have to tell you though, it's been a great year. I really shouldn't complain, even with the losing since March 1st. Personally. It's been a great year for me. Been a great year for Crack Wins. I tell you, I run really good there. I give the best information out. I save that marquee information for the clients, and it's the proof's in the pudding. I mean, we have done fantastic. We have golf matchups this week. Yesterday was a nice day. We went out 4-2. But I'm not one that likes to talk about one day. I like to talk about the overall thing, and the overall thing is we're up hundreds of units since I opened the app, and since literally 2 Septembers ago when football started, I think we're up 250 units. I mean, that's after juice. That's what the public has in their pocket if they follow everything I said. So
yeah, that's
keep
awesome.
going. I'm happy for them, and we're going to continue that.
Yeah, and to help you continue that, I would love to urge everybody to head on over to WSN.com. Did I read that right? They've got $500 promos on FanDuel and DraftKings?
Well, it's funny because I always go on to check out the new, whatever is the latest. And you're saying that, and this is the homepage on their phone, the phone app part. There's, of course, our last couple podcasts. But the bonus section that you're talking about here is fantastic. The bonuses. Let me first start out by the articles, because this week there's been some headway made in Louisiana, which is a big gambling state, by the way. Lots of big gamblers come out from Louisiana to Vegas and other places too. Even though they have their own casinos there now, it's a big sports betting place also. Now, so Louisiana has passed the internet, but where you can bet on your app on your phone. Not sure exactly when that's going to start, or if it did start, but I see an article on it. What's happening is you're getting a lot of people from like Mississippi crossing the border, because you have to actually go to the brick and mortars in Mississippi. There's a lot of casinos all over, up and down the state of Mississippi, but yet you have to go to the casinos. They don't have the app betting available, whereas they just go over. Now you can just literally just cross the border like they're doing in New York, New Jersey. They're coming across the river there and just stepping on New Jersey land and turning on their apps, which they can't do in New York yet, even though sports betting is legal in New York, but not on the apps yet. So some of these places are getting with it. Great articles on this stuff, what's going on, throughout the sports betting world. Not only that, there's a great article. I just read an article on the BMW International Tournament. I read the Travelers Championship. There's a great article on the series of the Dodgers. Great series going on with the Dodgers in San Diego.
Yeah.
And then there's, like I said, the sports betting news. Article on Florida, article on North Carolina, Wyoming, Illinois. I could just keep on going. Nebraska, Maine. Really good information, good stuff there. And then, of course, I love the bonuses. You know me. So you mentioned the bonuses, and once I click on bonuses, you can go state to state. But if you could just look at in general here, let me put this up here. You could just scroll through these bonuses of each of these sports books and what you get. And you can go state by state, which I did before. Fantastic bonuses. I like using the state by state guide. It's actually called State Guide. You click on it. Literally, you put your state in there and it'll tell you. I mean, right now I'm looking DraftKings, $1,000, William Hill. I think these are free bets. The DraftKings is a cash bonus. William Hill, $500 free bet. BetMGM, $600 free bet. Rivers,
how much do you have to
$250.
deposit to get the free bet? Like, do you have to?
You know what? I think you just have to match. For most of them, if you put in $500 in, you're eligible for that $500.
That's incredible.
Yeah. PointsBet, Sugar House, Hard Rock. I can just keep going on and on. Golden Nugget, $250. These are some of the apps. I don't even have them. So really good to do.
Another thing I saw on WSN.com was they were talking about, they had a list of for NFL Comeback Player of the Year. Crack, back me up on this one. I know you hate when I say bet the house, but Dak Prescott at plus 175. Is this not free money better than DraftKings bonuses? Come on.
It's funny. It's at DraftKings plus some 175. I guess that's where they got that from. It's not a bet the house though. Nothing's bet the house, but I mean, he's the favorite.
But realistically, shouldn't he be even money?
He should. I mean, this guy got injured last year, so you don't know how prone he is right now. I guess you don't know. Of course, they're saying he's back, and they gave him a giant contract they rewarded him with. So you would think he's back.
Yeah.
And we'll see what's going to happen. I'm not a bet your house, bet the house guy.
What would you,
especially a favorite?
Like crazy to put $500 on that?
No.
Okay.
No, $500 is fine. If that's within your
bankroll. At what
bankroll.
point am I creeping into crazy? $1,000?
Well, you'll have. It all depends on your bankroll, John. You'll have
$1,000.
Yeah, it depends on what your bankroll is. So you'll have action all year. You can root for Dak.
Right.
It's like betting a future. It's like betting an over/under season win or something. You'll have action every game. So.
The bankroll is whatever you spot me for that.
All right.
There's some other guys on there like Saquon Barkley's plus 600. Christian McCaffrey plus 500. Nick Bosa plus 700. They don't have a shot though, do they? I mean, I guess if Dak were to get hurt, they do, right? If Dak gets re-injured.
Yeah, I mean, there's some guys on there. Darnold 16-1. God, I mean, there's some guys on there that really they should be a lot more than they are, but that's why it's bad to bet into a futures market.
Right. But
these prices should be higher probably.
Like assuming Dak doesn't get hurt, all he's got to do is make the playoffs, and he pretty much wins Comeback Player of the Year. Would you agree with that?
I would agree. Make the playoffs unless someone is a standout player, does some unbelievable things throughout the year.
Yeah,
you're correct on that. I agree.
All right, well, Crack, we've teased this long enough. We've waited to get this guy on the show for, I want to say, a couple of months now. And he was kind enough last week. He reached out to me, and he said, the only day I'm available was last Friday. And when a legend like Ozzie Smith says you're available Friday, you sit down and do an extra special taping of an interview. And we did that exact thing with Ozzie Smith, and Travis is going to roll that clip right now. Okay, Crack, it's that time. We've been waiting on this one for a while. I mean, I'm so excited about this guest. Probably the most excited I've been about any guest in the history of podcasting. I speak of an MLB Hall of Famer. He was absolutely my favorite player. I played shortstop as a kid and aspired to be, just a tenth as good as this man that's joining us today. He was number one. They called him the Wizard. He's got 15 Golden Gloves. I mean, come on. Or 15, sorry, All-Star. 15-time All-Star. I think 13 Golden Gloves. He only played like maybe 18 years. You know how hard it is to even play baseball for 15 years, let alone make 15 All-Star games. It's incredible. And I speak of the legend Ozzie Smith joining us today on Wise Kracks. Ozzie, I mean, I can't say enough, man.
John, how you doing? First of all, what kind of glove is that? That's a Rawlings glove?
That's Pedro Guerrero's glove.
Pedro Guerrero?
Yeah, man.
Man, are you kidding me?
This is from Pedro. If I had an Ozzie Smith glove, it would go there. I'm just saying. I could send my address. I would.
Of all players, John, Pete Guerrero.
I
used to throw balls over there. Pete was so slow getting to first base, John. Sometimes I'd let it go and it'd go right by his head. I told him, I said, Pete, when you're playing first base and I'm playing shortstop, you better keep your eye on me, man, because I let it go. And there are many times he'd run over there and he'd go like this and the ball's going by him,
Well, he was
one of my favorites.
He was great.
One of my favorites.
He was really good to me as a kid. He used to allow me, I was lucky enough because of my dad, I would get to go. I had carte blanche over at Dodger Stadium, and Pete would let me come over there when I was in high school in the summer. I'd get to Dodger Stadium. I'd meet him if they had like a night game. I'd meet him up there at like 12:30 or 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and Pete would pitch to me in the cage. I mean, that's just crazy. When I think, I didn't even realize how crazy it was back then. But now as that I'm an old man, I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe the opportunities I had. It's really incredible. Just like talking to you right now is amazing.
It's neat. It's neat to have some of those opportunities, and those same type of opportunities come to us too. I was doing a Zoom the other day and we were talking about some of the special things that we have a chance to do. I had a chance to be on a segment of The Simpsons. I did the only other open air theater in the country, the Muni here in St. Louis. I played in the Damn Yankees, and then I was the Wizard in the Wizard of Oz. So, baseball has afforded me a lot of opportunities to do a lot of fun things, and those were certainly two of the fun things that I had an opportunity to partake in.
That's great. Crack, I know you're chomping at the bit. I know you've got questions for Ozzie. What's on your mind today, Bill?
Yeah, Ozzie, thanks for coming on. Bill Krackomberger. Everyone calls me Crack for short because the name's so long.
Krackomberger. And that was you said on the back of a jersey, man.
No. Well, you said it perfectly. You said it better than my wife. Wow. That's great. So I have some questions for you. John and I are probably a little bit nervous. Listen, we grew up on baseball. We had some great football players on here, great entertainers, but the great Ozzie Smith, that's what we grew up. Baseball and boxing was our two sports, really. So really, thanks for coming on. I'm going to first start out with you. Baseball has changed a lot since you left the game. You built a career on defense, smart hitting, bunts, stolen bases. Really, now it's strikeouts and trying to get a 3-run homer and base stealing, moving runners over. It's become a thing of the past, really, it seems like. What are your thoughts on today's game, how it's played? Do you like it? Do you think it's here to stay or just another little trend going on? I'd love to hear your thoughts on what you think is going on now.
You asked for it, Crack, so I'm going to give it to you, okay?
All right. Yep.
All right. Well, first of all, I think that, some of the points that you're making are very, very true. There's a saying in baseball that when you swing up, your average goes down. When you swing down, your average goes up. So if you look at averages today, averages are down because guys are swinging up. It's pretty to hit the ball out of the ballpark. It's vogue. It's that thing now that is with these numbers, they come up with a number for everything now. These statistics, they got a statistic for everything. And, back in our day, it was always about driving that runner, getting a guy, get him on, get him over, get him in. And we knew that if we did those things more consistently than the opposition, we had a better chance of winning. So our focus was not necessarily hitting the ball out of the ballpark, and especially in spacious ballparks like St. Louis was when we played, and we played on turf too, so we always had teams that had great overall team speed, and we knew that teams that we played that were built from an offensive standpoint probably were not very good defensive teams. So therefore, the only way that you're going to be able to put pressure on them and force them to make plays is to put the ball in play. So it was imperative that you put the ball in play, not strike out. You had a 2-strike approach. The 2-strike approach is gone completely. There's no real 2-strike approach at all. You watch guys now do something that I think is one of the dumbest things in the world, and I wish they had done it more when I played. The shift. It's so bad. They're talking about getting rid of the shift. Well, why would you get rid of a shift if a guy doesn't have the ability to hit the ball the other way? In baseball, you hit it where it ain't. And if you got 15 guys on one side of the field, there ain't nobody else on the other side. So as a player, it's part of my responsibility to learn to hit the ball the other way. I mean, it's my job. It's my gig. It's what I do. So please, load everybody up on one side and watch me go to work. This here is one of the saddest things I've ever seen in my life. Watching guys continually hit into into the shift, when if all you have to do sometimes is just hit the ball the other way. If you hit the ball the other way, there's nobody there. I mean, it's easy hits. It's an easy route to 3,000. I'm going to have 3,000 hits if they had a shift like this. But it's crazy. I think the game, from an analytical standpoint, I think that what we've done is we've allowed people who've never played the game to start making the rules in the game. I think that if you're going to have a great game like this game has always been to us who are baseball purists, there's always been the simple things, the doing the little things day in and day out. That's what the game is all about. And today when you watch games and they're much longer, and they're talking about trying to speed it up. Baseball has its own cadence and its own timing. Now, there are certain things that you can do to speed it up. Not let the guy go back to the dugout or to the on-deck circle 3 or 4 times, or there's a time limit for a pitcher to throw a pitch. Those little things work. We have instant replay, and I think instant replay was put in place with the right. It was the right idea to determine whether if a ball was fair or foul or whether you were safe or out. But what we've done is we've added time to the game now because we use the instant replay for every play. We've taken away from the umpire the purity of the game. It's a game of imperfection. So therefore, there are going to be some mistakes made. But I think it's been proven time and time again that an umpire in a split second gets it right 99.9% of the time.
Yeah.
And we're getting to a point to where we're going to start getting rid of the umpire for technology. And that to me changes the game too much. There's a certain imperfection that goes with the game, and sometimes it goes for you, sometimes it goes against you, and that's just the way it is.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
Being that baseball purist that you are, you must not really care for these new rules then, limited mound visits and then the man on second in extra innings.
This is crazy. I mean, this is crazy, Crack. Come on, man.
Yeah.
You got to earn your way. You earn your way on base. I'm going to put a guy on second base. This sounds like some little league stuff, man, that you would do with little kids because, they're not that good. So we're going to put them out there. Let's give everybody a trophy. How about that? Let's just give everybody a trophy.
Ozzie, what about this new rule they're talking about now with the pitchers and foreign substance? Put the sticky stuff on the ball. Like what?
Man, that's always been a part of the game. I don't know where this came from. All of a sudden now we're gonna get straight laced, boy. We're gonna make sure that the game is played with integrity. And I don't know. I guess a few weeks ago, a Cardinal player, before he threw a pitch, I guess they went out to the mound and checked his hat and did something that they've never done before. When back in the day, you if a guy threw a spitter, you try and hit the dry side of it. That's all. But now we're worried about these substances and stuff. I don't know where the game is going, and I don't know where all that came from, but hopefully one of these days we'll get back to playing some good old 1-0, 2-1 baseball.
Yeah. What are your thoughts also on, there's a lot of kids, this is when you're old, Crack, when a lot of the sons of the legends we watched are now star players. The Blue Jays got a whole bunch of them, and there's no accident that those guys are as good as they are because of who their parents were, right? I mean, I think it's a true testament to what good coaching can do.
Good coaching and good genes, and being around the game. I think that is probably the most important. They probably, like you, grew up around the game and they learned from some of the best in the business and stuff. So it's only natural that they will become big stars, like Dante Bichette's son, Vlad Guerrero's son. They're smashing it like their dads did. So there's something to be said about kids growing up around a sport or whatever it is they love to do. If they do it at an early age, it becomes a part of their being, and they never work a day in their lives.
I have a good question because it's one of the signature things you were known for. Vivid memories of, you running out on the field and and doing that backflip. I'm sure you get questioned about it all the time. It really became a signature image for that period of baseball even. I cannot imagine a player doing that today, though. I just can't. Not only they probably couldn't get it done today, but I'm sure that their managers and they would prohibit you doing it for the fear of you getting injured. Tell us about that. Did the manager, the GM say, Ozzie, please, don't get hurt out there. We can't have you getting hurt. Was it something that you always loved to do?
Okay.
Where did you come up with something like this?
Well, Craig, I was never told not to do it. I hurt my shoulder in 1985. And it was at that point, that was the first time that, I really couldn't do it because it put too much pressure on the rotator cuff. But when I started playing back in let's back up. I grew up in Southern California, and I lived across the street from a wood factory where they used to build pallets. So there was always plenty of sawdust and stuff around. So as a kid, we would go over there and tumble in the sawdust. And on Thursdays, we'd go to what they call family fun centers where they had trampolines in the ground. And we would learn to tumble, flip from one trampoline to the other. Because as kids, it was always a dare. I dare you. I bet you can't do that. And that's where you learn what you can and can't do. And so I learned to tumble that way, jumping on the trampolines on Thursdays. So 1978, my rookie year, after we got done working out, for some reason, we had to run 2 miles. And me being the young guy, I was at the back of the pack, and I had teammates, Gene Tennis, Raleigh Fingers, Gaylord Perry, Dave Winfield. They gave me a hard time about being the young guy, being a rookie, and being at the back of the pack. So to show them I wasn't tired, I did a round-off backflip, and at that time, I had monster leaps. I mean, there were many times, John, where, I'd go out on the field and I'd do my flip, and I'd look down and I go, oh man, I got to get back down there. They're waiting on me. That's how high, playing on that AstroTurf, that's how high I felt I was sometimes. But anyway, Gene Tennis had girls that were involved in gymnastics, and he wanted me to show them that I could do it at some point during the season, which we weren't able to do. So it wasn't until the final day of the season, which was Fan Appreciation Day, he and the PR guy thought it would be a great idea for me to do it going out to my position. Now, I was a little reluctant to do it because in those days, the entertainment in San Diego was the chicken. And I did not want to compete against the chicken. But I reluctantly did it. People liked it so much, they asked me to do it the following year, opening day the following year. And lo and behold, a trademark was born.
Wow.
That's
excellent.
Great.
Really cool.
Did you like playing on the turf? Do you think it took some years off of your career?
No, I don't think that it did. I think for guys, well, especially football players and guys that were always overweight, yeah, it probably did. But I met a guy by the name of Mackie Shilstone in 1985 who helped me with nutrition and weight training and stuff. So I kept myself in decent shape. You had to do a lot more leg work and stuff to make sure that you stayed strong, but I enjoyed playing on turf. You got a truer hop on turf. I think the one thing that turf does is it makes you lazy because the ball gets to you so much quicker. So I had to always remind myself to stay aggressive, charge it as if you would on grass and stuff. And that was really the only difference. Now, as a hitter, you could really take advantage of it, especially on hot days. It was so much quicker that if guys had to play in, if you fake a bunt and they come in, you can slap the ball by them, So I love playing on turf and stuff. So these guys playing today, they have no idea how easy they have it playing on grass all the time.
Cool. I read some great stuff on the internet about some of the old managers and even the players. Roger Craig said that when he seen you in the 70s, he said you were the best infielder he's ever seen. And you were going to be, if not the best. And then like you mentioned, Gaylord Perry, he's seen you as a rookie. And he said, I was always hoping they would hit the ball his way, because if they hit it his way, I knew my trouble was over. Even Whitey Herzog, the great Whitey Herzog, said when he managed, he said, wow, he said, I do not see how anyone can possibly play shortstop better than Ozzie Smith. So I seen these guys. I went back and looked at the clips. Of course, I knew them. I remember that catch with the hand when John and I were talking about it, when they hit the rock and you barehanded it and threw them out. But I watched those plays on. There's some unbelievable clips on YouTube of you. Some of your greatest plays, some of your greatest, even a home run out there to right field against. I think it was.
Well, let's not talk about that, Crack. Let's not talk about that. That one home.
There we go. Here we go.
Home run.
Hey, Crack.
I mean, I love you, Ozzie, but
they
damn.
Can't let it go. They can't let it go.
Yeah.
Let it go.
And like right before
100 years ago.
Right before he hit that, right before he hit that, they put up a stat.
graphic.
Ozzie Smith has not hit a home run in something like 2,600 at bats or something crazy, and then the next pitch,
I saw it.
Bam!
I saw it.
No way.
I
Yeah.
saw it.
Seen it?
Yeah.
No, I didn't see it. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't see it. No, but I mean, so that's how you know, Crack, that it was meant to be. And, getting these guys to let it go has been the hardest thing in the world.
But even so, if Jack Clark goes to Dodger Stadium to this day, he gets booed. If Ozzie Smith goes, he gets a standing ovation. So
that's right. So it was one of those things that I don't know if you remember this, John, but Niedenfuhr came in again in Dodger Stadium.
Yep.
And I came within inches of hitting the ball out of right field. I hit it for a double. So lightning almost struck twice.
Yep.
But then Jack Clark was the one that finished him off. And I'll never forget this. I was wondering if that glove of Pedro Guerrero is the one that he threw down out there after Jack hit that home run.
No, but I have that glove too. I swear on my life, I have that glove at home. I'll send you a picture of it later. Yes. I absolutely have that glove.
Wow. What do you do with yourself now, Ozzie? What do you do? What do you do? Do you play golf?
Yes, I play a lot of golf. For most of us, when you play 19, 20 years, Crack, there's a competitive void in your life. And so most of us gravitate to something that we're used to, that deals with hand and eye coordination. And golf is a sport that you will never perfect it. And I think that that's the thing that drives us more than anything, knowing that you'll never perfect it, but the drive to try and perfect it, I think is the thing that keeps us going. It is the one thing that probably is one of the most challenging things that I've ever done. We spent our career hitting a ball that's moving. This thing is sitting still. And it's the hardest thing to be able to get it to go exactly where you want it to go. And so that to me is the real challenge for all of us, more so than playing against somebody. You're really battling yourself. And I think that's why so many of us gravitate to it. I also have a pain management clinics where we do PRP, we do stem cell, we do rehab. Got involved with some guys after I retired. I went down to Paducah, Kentucky. They did some PRP on my shoulder and stuff to give me more flexibility. And so many people were going from St. Louis to Paducah, Kentucky, that they asked me if we opened a store in St. Louis, would you be interested in partnering with us? And I did. And it's been one of the greatest things that I've ever done in my life, because what we do is we give people their lives back, and we give them their lives back without necessarily going under the knife. As you age and stuff, there are a lot of people that can't go under the knife, but they still are looking for relief to be able to at least get up and get out of a chair or put down a cane. In our office here, we have a wall of canes where people, they come in. We do PRP, or we do stem cell, or we do rehab, and they get rid of their canes. So
that's incredible.
To see those people be able to get their lives back is been really, really rewarding, and it really warms the heart.
Hey, Ozzie, that's amazing. Let me ask you, does it work on tendinitis?
Tendinitis, it works on everything.
I need to come see you.
the stuff that's going on today is really, really amazing, and especially when you start getting into stem cell. And I'm not talking about foreign stem cells. I'm talking about stem cells that are taken from your belly fat and shot back into you. And PRP is platelet-rich plasma, which is what promotes the healing in the body. So if you take that and you spin it, you hear people talk about spinning it. You spin it. There's a substance that comes off. The substance that comes off is the platelets that are then taken and shot back into the area which promotes healing.
That's what Kobe Bryant used to do, right? Like he used to go to Germany or something for the. Okay,
that's exactly right. That's exactly right. They're more free with it in places like Germany and Mexico than we are here. There are a lot of restrictions to doing it here. That's why guys went to other places to do it. But it's here now. It's all over the place and stuff. But it's a great way to keep yourself healthy.
I'm seriously coming to see you guys. I need,
all right.
I've had chronic tendonitis for over a year. It's ridiculous in my left forearm. Yeah. It's nuts.
Well, we can help. We can help you.
Oh man,
is that in St. Louis? Is that in St. Louis?
That's in St. Louis. Yeah, we have one in St. Louis, in Paducah, in Springfield, and we're going to open a couple in Florida. So it's really getting all over the place.
That's great.
Cool. Are you full time?
The one here
full time in St. Louis yourself? You live there around?
Oh yeah.
Around?
Oh yeah. This is home. Yes.
Okay.
And it's called the Ozzie Smith IMAC Regeneration Center. It's integrated medicine and chiropractic, all under one roof.
Okay.
Great.
Ozzie, you mentioned golf is you against you, but if you were playing Marcus Allen, I'd like to know who wins. You and Marcus on the golf course.
Come on, man. No contest, man. Now he'll tell you something different, but hey, I'll tear him up, man. As a matter of fact, we were just out there for his tournament, and we had kind of a Ryder Cup where he put a team together, and Vince Coleman put a team together. The winning team gets 500, losing team gets 300. We got the 5. So question answered.
I love it.
Very cool.
I love it.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
The Coleman team won.
Cool. Well, man, I tell you, this has been great, John. I'm so happy that we had on the legendary Ozzie Smith. We really appreciate you giving us your time too. You're a really cool guy, and look forward to maybe having you on again. If you maybe in the end of the season, next year, whatever, next season, the end of the season.
Yeah, quick.
All right, anytime, guys.
Quick.
You have the number.
Quick story before we let you go. I don't even know if you remember this. So they're honoring Ozzie at this dinner in St. Louis, maybe in like 95, 96. So my dad brings me. And we go to St. Louis. I honestly don't remember what the event was. It was like a charity event, maybe for the police or something. But they were honoring you or something. I don't remember the specifics. But so we were sitting at it was like a dinner thing, right? So there's a bunch of these round tables at dinner. And so my dad makes it so that I'm sitting next to Ozzie because he's literally like my child. I mean, come on, who didn't want to be Ozzie? Every time a ground ball was hit to you and you're in Little League, you're like, I'm Ozzie Smith, whatever. Right. So I'm sitting next to Ozzie, and I'm so shy and like starstruck. I don't say more than 3 words to Ozzie the whole night, and I'm in a suit and tie. It's like we're all dressed up. And so then Ozzie gets up to speak. So he stands up from the table. He goes up. He gives this speech. Everyone gives him a standing ovation. So I'm now standing and applauding as he's coming back to the table. He's going to sit right next to me. And it's dinner party, right? Or dinner event. So they had just delivered dessert, which was like this like raspberry sauce, like real foo-foo dessert, whatever. Yeah. And as I sit down next to Ozzie, my tie flops right into my dessert and splatters everywhere. And I remember just being so embarrassed. I don't even know if he even caught it or not, but I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe this is my life right now. Yeah.
Great times.
Yeah, man.
So awesome.
Thank you for all the memories, and thank you for giving us your time today. It really means a lot to me.
All right. You're very welcome.
Wow, Crack, that was crazy. I mean, it's just, I'm like a little kid reduced to my 6-year-old ways when I hear the name Ozzie Smith. It just reminds me of so many memories as a kid watching him come up on, with the Padres and stuff. And it was what a pleasure to sit down and talk to him.
How nice was he too? Saying, no, just you got my phone. Just call me again. We'll have him on maybe for the playoffs or World Series time. It'd be great.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Speaking of baseball legends, have you seen on MLB Network, I don't know how long it's been running, but there's a little documentary on Ken Griffey Jr. and his dad. Have you seen this yet?
No, I'll have to see it.
Gotta check this out.
That's something I would really like, because I like the old man too.
Yeah.
I was a kid in New York and the Bronx when Ken Griffey was over there, so I'll really like that. That's going to be. It's on. It's just. It's on. Special.
Yeah. It's on MLB Network. I don't know how long it's been running. I just caught it a couple days ago. I've watched it twice. It's pretty. I'm assuming you were a Junior fan also, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
How can you not be? Great player. Player.
Yeah. Check that out for sure. And Crack, this one blew by today. This was fun.
Yeah, no, good stuff. And now that you say that, I did see a documentary the other day on ESPN 30, I think it was called. I was at my friend's house up in Scranton on Ernie Johnson, the TNT guy that calls the games on TNT on basketball games. It was so good. It was so touching and revealing about him going to these other countries, adopting kids. And, oh, man, the chance to catch that. Oh, man, that was so touching. And it really got to me. So that's just talking about documentaries. I might as well check Raise you there at one.
I like that. I like the check raise. And before I let you go and everyone else go, there is a UFC card this weekend that's not the best card if you're not a diehard fan like me, but there are 2 dogs on this card I wanted to bring to your attention, Crack. I know you're a little sour on betting UFC lately, so don't shoot the messenger here. But here's
that's another 15,000 I lost. I forgot about that. That gets thrown into that 6-figure mix.
Do you want to throw him under the bus or no? No. Okay.
No, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
Someone trying to help.
I know.
Trying to help us with the UFC picks, and his interest was in the right place.
Yeah.
But,
so same goes here. My interest is in the right place. There is Andre Fili and Daniel Pineda. Pineda is plus 190, and I believe he can beat Andre Touchy Fili is his nickname. I believe Pineda can win, and then I would put him in another parlay with Ovince Prue, also known as OSP. He's fighting Tanner Boser, who is no slouch, but OSP is plus 150, so that's a plus 190 and a plus 150. OSP is the co-main event, and I'm going to put some action on that little two-teamer. Do you call it a 2-teamer when it's fighters? I just have it.
That's a nice live dog parlay.
Yeah.
Very
so
nice.
that's where I'm headed on this Saturday's UFC card, and that's all I got for you this week, Crack. Let's do this again.
Awesome.
You want to do it again next week? I'm available.
Yeah.
All right.
Good stuff.
Crack, when am I coming back on the road? I think you need your good luck charm back. I need to be on the road with you.
I'll be in Vegas again for the summer, and then I'm headed to Del Mar and probably coming back to Saratoga for a week or so, and maybe that week you'll come up for in August.
I'm coming to Del Mar, and I'm definitely coming to Saratoga.
Oh, cool.
These are verbally binding agreements, Crack.
All right.
All right.
Sounds good.
We'll see you next week.